Hello class 5. Let's have our online English language class. And we are revising the chapters for our coming first term examination. You already completed all the chapters of our first term examination and now we are just revise the chapters again. And we are continuing revision of the chapter 3, The Mountain That Ate People. The story is a valuable story actually. It teaches us a value of life. And the story is written by Hema Pandey and it is a folktale from Japan. Long ago in Japan, there was a small state and the ruler was a young feudal lord who hated old people. His thought was like that. The old people can neither walk nor think, so they are useless and should die after their 61 of their age. So he issued a decree and threatened that whoever broke it would be punished. The feudal lord was so cruel, all the people terrified and sorrowful because they all were forced to take their old parents to the dense forests on the high mountain near the city and leave them in the cold and rain. And finally, the wild animals ate them up. Soon, there were no more old people were dead. And the feudal lord was very happy because he was sure that his state will prosper because all are young and energetic there and no aged folk to give trouble. Now, there was a farmer who loved his mother a lot. As his mother became 61 of her age, he should have to leave her mother to the mountain to die. One day, with a sorrowful heart, the farmer took her mother up on his back and climbed up the mountain. As he climbed up higher and higher, his mother broke off twigs from the tree and threw away. On asking the cause, she replied that she broke and threw those twigs to make the sign that could help her son to find the way back to home in the dense forest. Hearing his mother's loving words, the farmer wept a lot and decided that not to leave his mother there on the mountain to die, but picked up her and returned down the dreadful mountain to their little home in late night when all were sleeping there. The farmer then hid her in a small room under the ground. She was there in the room under the ground and was very cheerful. Actually, the farmer was very cheerful that his mother was with him. About 2 years passed by. The feudal lord was defeated by the mighty overlord from the neighboring state. The mighty overlord, then set a problem to solve and ordered to the feudal lord that only then he will release the feudal lord's people if he can solve the riddle. Actually, the problem as the feudal lord, the overlord, set for the feudal lord was an impossible riddle. The feudal lord sent a proclamation throughout the land that whoever can solve it will be rewarded. Hearing that, the farmer told all to his mother, and she, the old mother, then and there solved it. And next, as the farmer gave the solution to the feudal lord, he was very thankful and praised the farmer and gave him lots of money and presents. After some time, the great overlord set a new problem again to solve to the feudal lord. Another problem it was, and it was much more difficult than the previous. But here the problem was to pull a silken thread through a narrow pipe with 7 bends. The feudal lord was then fearful again, and again sent a proclamation across the land. Hearing it, again the farmer told all to his mother, and his mother already told him the solution. To tie a silk thread round a large ant and release it at the one end, and the opposite end there should be put some sugar. Then surely the ant will pull the silken thread through the pipe, and in this way the problem becomes solved. Now the remaining part. "Thank you, mother, thank you," cried the happy farmer. He ran as fast as he could to tell the delighted feudal lord, who rewarded him with bags of gold and precious gifts. Getting the solution, the feudal lord was happy and gave him, the farmer, the bags of gold and gifts. Time passed, and yet once more the wicked overlord sent his messenger to harass the feudal lord with the hardest problem of all. Again the overlord sent his messenger with the hardest problem. "The great lord wishes you to make him a drum that will play by itself," announced the messenger. The messenger announced that the great lord now wants a drum which will play by itself. Obviously, it's hard enough. The feudal lord was petrified. That means extremely frightened. Who is there that can tell us how to make such a wondrous drum and save our lives and land? He wailed. The farmer turned again to his mother for advice. "My son, this problem is easier than the others," she smiled. "Make an ordinary drum and put some bumblebees inside before covering the sides with paper. Take it to the overlord and it will play merrily without being touched." So, there was the solution. The farmer's mother told to make a ordinary drum and put some bumblebees inside, and then covered the 2 sides of the drum with paper, and then as the bumblebees were there, inside the drum will play itself. "Oh, mother, how wise you are!" cried the excited farmer, and ran to the feudal lord to tell him. The lord was overwhelmed with joy, and taking off priceless strings of pearls and rubies from his neck and gave them to the farmer. The lord was very joyful, and all the strings of pearls and rubies from his neck gave to the farmer. But suddenly he stared hard at the young man. "It is wonderful that you are able to solve such difficult problems," he said. "Surely you cannot be so wise to think of the answers all by yourself. Tell me honestly, who has helped you?" So, there was a confusion. The feudal lord just wanted to know what is the actual reason behind that. The farmer quaked with fear, but he bowed before the feudal lord and spoke courageously and with conviction. The farmer told all the truth to the feudal lord. "Mighty lord, I have disobeyed you and have kept my old mother hidden away at home." Just then, the farmer revealed the truth, that his mother is with him. He said, "It is really she who has given you the correct answers to these problems and has saved our lives and state from the overlord. Please forgive me." Was the feudal lord angry? Hearing that the farmer disobeyed him, so was the feudal lord angry? No. He realized the value of the great wisdom of old people and his folly in sending them away to the mountain to die. So now the feudal lord was realized the value of old people, that the wise people can solve many problems. This is their strength, their experience, their wiseness can help a lot to the young people and all the state. And so he realized that it was a fault, great fault, to sending them away to the mountain to die. At once he withdrew the cruel decree. Then and there, the feudal lord withdrew the cruel decree. So, from that day, no old people were ever taken to the mountain that ate people, and they lived happily with their children and grandchildren. So, from then, the decree was withdrawn, and all the old people were very happy as they lived happily with their children and grandchildren. Moreover, the powerful overlord, being extremely impressed by the wisdom of the feudal lord and his subjects, gave up fighting and all lived together in peace and harmony. That is the main thing, to live in peace and harmony. So this was the story, and you read the story several times, and the question answers as I gave you through my previous classes. You read all that and each and every line of this beautiful story. I hope you all prepare for your coming exam. And this much for today. Bye till my next class.